Principles of Engineering. Today we're going to start Project 1.4.1, which is called the Alternative Energy Challenge. And the way that the Alternative Energy Challenge works in real life is that we're going to be taking solar panels, which are, really small by comparison to modern solar panels. And we're also going to be playing around with hydrogen fuel cells and trying to get energy from sources that are not just like plugging stuff into the wall. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be designing a moving vehicle, and that moving vehicle is supposed to be ran off of just solar power. So, we are going to be using our solar panels, and we're going to be able to make any of this stuff out of the equipment that we have listed below. So the hydrogen fuel cell is like a little blue capsule thing, and the distilled water goes in the hydrogen fuel cell. There's a solar module. You can use any wires, any VEX equipment, and the small breadboard that we have as well too. You're more than welcome to use those. You can also use any 3D printed materials that you guys have designed and come up with. You'll have about a week, so I think this is going to be due in roughly about 7 or 8 days. So you're going to have several days to try to come up with some ideas to either 3D print and implement into your design, or to work it, to come up with some ideas to just make things out of Vex equipment if that's what you wanted to do. Now, at the very, very top of this link, there is a design brief that you can click on that will help guide you through the process. But since our last project that we did, there was a lot of guidance that needed to be necessary because there were a lot of people who either just didn't turn in anything or thought that it was okay to just, work on the project itself and then not do anything else. You need documentation. Engineering is like rife with documentation all the time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make 6 assignments available to us. And these 6 assignments basically follow the engineering design concept. You don't do these assignments, you don't get the points. It's pretty much that simple. And a lot of these aren't necessarily so bad. Let me walk through each of them step by step for you in this video. The alternative energy car dash define the problem. What are you doing? You are defining the problem that we set forth in class. If you are not in class, if you're a digital student, you're going to set forth the problem and define it out for what I just said about a minute ago. So what are we doing? We are making a alternate energy vehicle. We're making a vehicle that runs off of solar power or hydrogen fuel cell power, and you need to list the constraints that I mentioned earlier from the materials. And a lot of the constraints this time are just going to be material constraints, not necessarily any other type of like volume constraints or anything like that. If you start building way too big, you're going to constrain yourself anyway because it's just not going to move. These solar panels aren't super big. All right, so for the next one, the generate concepts, what I'm going to need on that, this is your brainstorming session. This generate concepts is when you create ideas for your vehicle. When you create ideas for your vehicle, that's going to involve concept sketching. Remember, concept sketching is quick and dirty. These are not super fancy dimensioned out sketches. These are not isometric sketches. These are very quick concept sketches. I need concept sketches. I need brainstorming sessions that you did with your group. If you're digital, do a brainstorming session by yourself and list out all of the ideas that you can generate for how you would create a vehicle made out of our parts, any parts that we have that could actually work. Even though you don't have the parts there, you are well capable of doing a generate concept section as well as a define the problem section. Develop a solution. Notice this is not building. Develop a solution is not building. Developing a solution is taking your concepts that you got from your brainstorming session and it is developing it and sharpening it further. So, in the develop a solution section, what I want from you is I want a detailed either CAD design or multi-view drawing, isometric sketch with lots of details about what parts that you would want to put inside. So this is where the details come in. Developing a solution is where the details come in. And the evidence is going to have to be like you have the burden of evidence. You're going to have to show me that this is the solution that I wanted to do. That's what you're going to need. Okay. The next one down is construct and test. This is the part where you're actually building it. If you're digital, I'm just going to give you points for that. You already have it. It's there. Those points are given to you. Bam, done. Okay, so construct and test, don't worry about it if you're digital. I understand that you guys don't have stuff at home to be able to build this stuff, and I'm perfectly fine with that. We'll be making videos as we go along the way, so that brings us to our next spot. Oh, and by the way, people who are here, you are responsible for not only constructing it, but you're also responsible for testing it out and making sure that it runs efficiently and consistently. So you need to show me evidence that it runs consistently and efficiently. You cannot just give me a picture of the thing and be like, here it is, and that doesn't count because I can't see it actually running. You're going to have to give me some data. You're going to have to give me some information about what it takes to actually keep this thing running. Um, that could cover a whole lot of different things. And I'm very open to what you want to give me in terms of evidence for that, but you should be able to provide me with evidence that you've tested it out. If you just give me a picture of the finished product, you're not going to score very many points on this one. The last one, or the next to last one, evaluating a solution. This is actually looking at our designs and whether they work or not. We're going to be comparing them to our other team groups and seeing whether or not these other team groups are actually, is there anything that they did that you could have done to improve yourself? Are there any improvements that you could make after seeing the constructing and testing phase? Because when you build it, there's a 99.99999% chance that it's not going to be perfect. So you're going to have to go back and maybe reiterate some parts. That's where the evaluate the solution comes in. You're going to look at your design and you're going to say, was this good or was this not good? If it was good, what was good about it? If it is not good, what needs to be improved about it? How could you make it better? That is what you need to do for evaluating the solution. And finally, for the presentation in class, we're going to be giving out like a quick maybe a minute. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to specifically put a time limit on it, but you're going to basically highlight the features of your vehicle and what it does, what it doesn't do, how fast does it go. We're going to be giving out some information as if you're trying to sell this product, because if you're going to make it, there's a chance that you could actually sell it. So we're gonna simulate the production process. So once you've actually got it, now we need to see if people are actually interested in it. So you're going to give a 1 minute presentation to basically talk about your car, what it does, and how and some basic information about it. Okay? And this is going to be those 6 assignments. Whether you are digital or whether you are not digital, you are going to be responsible for turning in these assignments. Once again, if you are digital, do not worry about construct and test. If you are digital, do not worry about construct and test. If you are digital, do not worry about construct and test. All of the other ones, please worry about those and worry about them greatly, because we're going to be spending the next week on it. I'm going to be giving you guys as much video feedback as I possibly can, and I will talk at you guys later. Good luck on designing your vehicles.